Hello everybody, this is House Gaming and welcome to our new series on Valkyria Chronicles 4. This is going to be a semi-blind Let's Play. I say that because I have already played through the prologue and the first 3 chapters of the game and watched a few of Remy's videos on it. So I know some of the story going forward, but none of the strategy or how to basically beat the levels moving forward past Chapter 3. That being said, like I say at the beginning of any series, if there's any aspect of the volume that's too loud or too quiet, be it my voice, the sound effects, the music, the dialogue, please let me know in the comments down below. That being said, I'd like to bear in mind that if it's the animated cutscenes that are too loud or too quiet, bear in mind that the volume for that is tied to the sound effects volume. So if I turn that up or turn that down, then the sound of gunshots and explosions will also go up and down with it. Just something to bear in mind. But without further ado, let's get this game started. See, starting a new game? Yes, I know. See, you can change difficulty? Yeah, I'm gonna go for normal.
The day our hometown burned, that was the day we enlisted. At last, we had something to believe in, something worth fighting for. None of us yet knew, we couldn't foresee what this war would cost us. It was a battlefield, but it was where we grew up.
Yeah, nobody ever truly knows what they're in for when they go to war, until they see it firsthand.
Wind out of the northeast, clear skies, and nap time's over. Come on, Raz.
I wasn't napping, just resting my eyes. You gotta relax, man. You are way too freaking tense. Your hands are shaking. So sack up, Commander. It's about time we get ready to roll out. Let's show those imps what's coming to them.
Yeah.
What's the matter, boy? You hear something?
A shift in the wind. There.
Huh? You getting those wind whispers again? Imperials incoming! All right, boys, it's go time!
I mean, realistically speaking, we should have been able to see them.
Squad E, do you read me? Squad E!
This is Commander Claude Wallace. Squad E.
The Imperial forces are on the move, heading for your position!
Ready to engage.
Do not let them break through to the front line. We're counting on you.
Roger that. Over.
Good luck, Squad E.
They won't advance until they're done shelling the area. We should have time to prepare. Kai, take a group to that southern hill and slow down their left flank. Raz, take 2 soldiers east and make some noise for me. You got that?
Gotcha. Keep up or get left behind. At your command.
Hoffman, roll out! Squad E, ready to engage. All right. Just remember your training. We can do this. eliminate all Imperial hostiles. Let's stop their advance. Squad E, move out!
And by Squad E, you mean the only guy we currently have available because this is a tutorial.
All set, Raz?
Just say the word, boss. I'm locked, loaded, and in-freaking-vincible.
Everybody thinks that at the beginning of the war.
Okay. First, we'll see how they respond to some infantry. Squad E, move out!
Okay, so...
Okay. Looks like everyone's in position.
Yeah, all one guy.
Finally. It's time. I'm their commander. It's up to me to get everyone out alive. Concentrate. Remember your training. We can do this. I can do this.
Okay, so for those of you who have never played Valkyria Chronicles or seen anything on it, it's basically World War II anime with turn-based tactics. There's no better way to describe it. See, when combat starts, blah blah blah. You'll see a map of the area and your unit's position. This is referred to as command mode. This is basically where you pick what unit you want to use first. You'll select the unit you'd like to move based on the terrain and their respective position to the enemy. Use the cursor onto Raz, using using WASD or jump to him with the arrow keys, switch to action mode. What the game is not telling you, you see those points up top, those little metal looking things? Those are command points. You can't do anything if you don't have command points. Those are what you need in order to, well, command your troops. Among other things. But we don't have access to those other things yet. We only got one unit to command, and that is Raz. Raz is basically a shock trooper. That's what his class is. They're kind of the middle of the road soldiers, the meat of your army.
Here comes the pain!
Action mode. Selecting unit switches them to action mode where they can move and attack. Move a unit with action mode with WASD, blah blah blah. The AP gauge at the bottom of the screen will slowly deplete while a unit is in motion. Doesn't matter if you're moving forward, backwards, or any other direction. If you move at all, you will drain AP. So be very careful when picking your movements, because you can't undo them. See, once that soldier runs out of AP, they will be left unable to move. They will be stuck in place. So try to not leave them out of cover, or at least not leave them in a location where they can't hide from the enemy. Yeah, move towards the sandbags. Done this before. Hell, I had to do this a lot. I had to do this a lot while doing the audio testing for this. Thankfully, the tutorials only pop up the first time you go through, so I didn't have to go to that. Time to attack. Yes, press the right mouse button while in attack mode to enter target mode. Crosshairs, snap between targets. There's only one available to us. If the enemy survives, they might counterattack, so try to make every shot count. Well, first things first. Troopers can only attack once per action. However, they can move after attacking so long as they still have AP. Yes. Okay. Now, here's what the game does not tell you. You see that orange dotted circle around the enemy? That is where your bullets can end up. They might end up hitting your enemy, but as you can see, with the low accuracy, they could end up whiffing entirely. Now, that bar along the top refers to the enemy. 7 shots to kill. That's pretty obvious as to what it does. That's how many shots we have to hit him with when targeting that specific area. If we move to another location, say, aiming at the head, that gets drastically reduced down to 2. Any headshots are a critical hit. The shots with 20 beneath it are how many shots your character is going to shoot. Then you have versus persons versus armor, and area. That basically means how effective your attack is going to be versus those targets. Circle means it's going to be effective, and X means it's going to be ineffective. And for area, that just basically means, is it an AoE attack, or does it just attack one single target? Now, I can switch over to a grenade, which is effective versus persons, has an area attack, but only has a triangle versus armor. That basically means that it will do damage, but it's not going to be very effective. We also have Ragnade, which is basically first aid. Everybody has it. You can use it either on yourself or on other units. But we don't have anybody wounded yet, so I'm just going to stick with the Robinson and try to go for some headshots on this guy.
Wide open.
Well done!
Alright, we are now going to go over the sandbags, move up to here. Now, sandbags on the field provide cover. Move behind the sandbag. Yes, to take cover, I've been over that. Crouching makes the unit harder to hit and negates extra headshot damage. In other words, hiding behind sandbags, very, very good because it means you don't get extra damage from headshots. Now, as you can see, that guy is shooting at us, whereas the previous guy did not. I'm just going to get out of here so I don't take extra damage.
Damn it, these assholes are in my way. I can't break through this.
If an enemy sees you and you are within range, they will start shooting at you. However, by the same token, any enemies that your units see when you are not controlling them will automatically get attacked. And just as they can counterattack you if you survive an attack, or if they survive an attack, so too can your units. Bear that in mind moving forward.
Why not? You're invincible, right? Are you really getting tripped up over some common foot soldiers? Why don't you ever stop and think...
Oh, shut up. Just hurry and take them out, will ya?
Thought you'd never ask. This won't take long.
Now with you taking the shot, it won't. Kai has deployed, one of the most popular characters, and you'll soon see why. Now, as you can see, she has a different symbol. She is a sniper unit. Snipers, very good for high damage, but they are also very squishy. Seriously, they don't get a lot of health, and they can be taken out rather quickly. That being said, you're going to want to keep them towards the back lines, away from enemies, and take them out from a distance, as is obvious. And now you'll see why this game is so popular. Damn. Snipers. Yeah, class specializes in shooting down enemies from afar. I just went over that. Zoom in on targeting mode. Use the scope to line up headshots. Now, as you can see, she has a much smaller orange circle to work with. She could still miss, but as you can also see, she only needs one headshot to kill the enemy. 2 to the body, but let's go for the headshot.
Didn't take much.
Deadly and beautiful. No point in moving her too far forward, but I think I'll do it anyways, just because she has reduced accuracy than what I'm used to for the testing. But I'll end it off there. Now then, we could, emphasis on could, just end our turn off here, and we'd be good. But that would be a waste of CP, and it lets me tell you something else. You can use additional CP to move the... You can move a unit multiple times per turn, but every time you select that unit, they will have reduced AP each turn. Now, that AP will be restored at the beginning of the next turn, but it's something to bear in mind. You won't be able to move as far using a unit multiple times within the same turn. So, I am going to move them up to these sandbags. It's going to be useful because there are some enemy scouts over there. CP and ending phases. Selecting a unit, using one command point. Number of times you can control a unit per per player phase reaches 0, player ends the phase, and the enemy phase begins. I don't think there's really... No, wait. I think there is a point to ending with leftover CP because I believe that CP carries over to the next turn. So, just because you can move every unit doesn't necessarily mean you should. But in this case, it's a good thing. Now the Imperials get their turn. Because he moved within range, I managed to get some free shots off on him. And that thing that Raz just did, you're not guaranteed to dodge if you're hiding behind sandbags, but there is a chance your allies will just duck out of the way of enemy fire. Unfortunately, that guy was not...
Here we go. About time, Claude.
Was not within range for Raz to get an attack off. But hopefully, this shouldn't matter.
Yeah, I know. Soldiers, forward! Now's our chance to take the offensive.
CP and consecutive actions. The CP is replenished at the start of each player phase. CP can be used on the same unit multiple times in a row. That's what I was just went over. Useful for cutting into enemy lines, finishing off a tenacious enemy. They will tire out and will have less AP. Like I was saying. CP that goes unused during one phase will, however, roll over to the next. So if I had chosen to not move Raz again, we would have one extra CP, but that shouldn't be necessary.
Moving out.
Aiming at weak points, I already went over this. Headshots deal greater damage, yada yada. Shots will generally land within the circle marked. I already went over that. Yep, I know. Let's see if we can't get a good headshot off. Decent chance to miss the head, but I have enough CP that it shouldn't matter. Ooh, not that it mattered at all.
Too easy.
I should have expected as much from you.
Yeah, rolling out the big guns, eh?
Busting out the tanks, huh? This one's all yours, Claude.
It's our turn now. Fire up the engine, Miles.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the Hoffen's moving out. Destroy the enemy tank.
Yep, we have a tank. And we're gonna use it. Tanks. Tanks boast firepower and endurance far beyond that of foot soldiers. They'd better, otherwise they're not very good tanks. They can withstand gunfire from enemy infantry, making them a solid wall for your soldiers to use as cover. Tanks can destroy objects with a red X on the command mode map, either by firing a cannon or driving into them. Tanks cannot fit into narrow passages, so advance with infantry in such cases. Yeah, those symbols with the slash through the tank means you can't go in there. Now then, there is something that I didn't go over. That right here. Curtis, Nico, these two are scouts. What that means is that they're in terms of HP, they're kind of the middle ground between snipers and shock troopers, but they boast having a ton of action points, which is kind of the point. They're meant to get in quickly and move around in order to, well, basically get to objectives faster than other units can. But you gotta be careful because they are squishy.
Advancing.
Like it said in the tutorial, you can run over certain obstacles, even though these tank mines should technically stop us.
Don't miss your chance.
This does also mean that you,
Keep the
can end up destroying cover. Now, bear in mind, rotating the tank costs AP. Not as much as, say, moving, but still. Now then, when it comes to fighting other tanks, you see that glowing spot on the back? That is their major weak point. Generally, shooting that with a tank will kill the enemy. Tank warfare. Tanks have 3 methods of attack: armor-piercing, shells, mortar rounds, and mounted machine gun. Armor-piercing shells are effective against tanks and other vehicles. Explosive mortars hit a broad area with a Ragnite blast, ideal against infantry. Mortars travel in arc, aim for the center of multiple foes to maximize firepower and preserve limited ammo. Machine gun is designed to strike foes who are too close for the mortar and to intercept incoming enemies. Press 2 to switch a tank's weapons or infantry's. Now, trying to go for that would kill it in one shot, but it's such a small target that I don't feel confident we can hit it, so I'm just going to use up all my CP to blast the tank itself. Gonna end it there, and just like with the regular units, tanks also have reduced AP in order each time you use them in the same turn. Tank's weak points, yeah, the glowing blue radiator plate at the tank's rear is its weak point, where even standard bullets can deal damage. Try to get behind enemy tanks for a chance to take them down while being careful not to expose your own rear to hostile fire. Basically, you want to try and get behind the tanks to shoot them, but don't leave your rear end exposed to them.
Right there.
And as you can see, we have limited ammo for our armor-piercing rounds.
Advancing.
There are ways to restore it, but we'll get into that another time.
Right there.
And that's it.
Anyone else want to try? Squatty don't take shit from nobody.
Double negative, Raz.
Claude knows what I'm... Whoa, you okay?
The flowers.
Oh, yeah. They didn't stand a chance. Come on, man. You're supposed to be commander of the Ranger Corps.
A commander still has a heart, same as a foot soldier. Rank doesn't make this any less painful to see.
Hey, considering the camouflage that they gave the rest of your squad, I wouldn't be talking shit about the flowers.
But crying over flowers, even little girls have bigger balls these days.
Maybe. But what matters is that their hearts...
Alright, I get it. Power of the heart, blah, blah, blah. Look, just go turn in your report already, will ya? Can't go get sloshed if we're stuck here on standby.
Good point. I'll head to the command center.
Yeah, you do that. And tell the brass to send us tougher imps to fight next time, yeah?
Careful what you wish for, Raz. You may just get it. And after each battle, you get basically graded and rewarded based upon your actions. Repair cost is basically like how much it's going to cost to repair your tank. I think that might only occur if it's destroyed, but that basically takes away from your DCT, which is basically this world's cash. EXP, which works differently in this. It's not just, hey, you gained so-and-so, you level up. And based on how many turns it takes you to beat the mission, you also get a specific rank, which also determines any bonus experience and money that you get.
Prologue. Operation Northern Cross.
A new episode has been added. Book mode. Discover the untold history of the Second Europan War. Like I said, World War II anime. By viewing this chronicle, select a new episode to continue. Tutorial. Saving. Oh boy, I know how to save a game. But yeah, honestly, I don't know why they let you use your mouse on these, because as soon as you select something, oh, your mouse shoots back to the center of the screen. I don't get it. Anyways, you can tell when you're going into a battle and when it's just going to be a cutscene, because if it's a battle, you're going to see a map of the field, whereas anything else is just a cutscene.
Sir, First Lieutenant Claude Wallace reporting in.
Good work out there. Glad you're still in one piece. We're just about to go over our next operation.
You're late. I'm sure you know standard procedure is to report immediately after a mission.
Oh boy, she's going to be one of those hard-ass soldiers, isn't she?
Oh, Minerva. You're reporting too?
That's lieutenant to you, Claude. Don't get smart with me just because we share rank. I've got seniority.
Yep.
Sorry, Lieutenant Minerva Victor.
Well, let's get started. Minerva, give us a situation report.
Yes, sir. 3 months have passed since we went to war. I won't sugarcoat it. They're steamrolling us. By this point, 1/3 of our territory is under Imperial control. This is officially a crisis.
If it's that bad already, we won't even be able to sustain a war effort.
You're right, and the Empire's only gaining momentum. If this draws out much longer...
The Federation's finished. If we fall, that's it for Europa. Nobody else could stand against them. The Empire would take total control. It'd be a fascist continent ruled with an iron fist. We can't let that happen. Europa's future depends on us.
Which brings us to now. The top brass finally got off their seats and sent us a plan. A counterattack that can turn the war around in one fell swoop, ready to be put into action.
What are the orders?
We put all our force into one strike. Break through their defenses and hit them where they'll hurt most.
Soldiers, supplies. We'll use all reserves we have to make a final push and capture one crucial enemy base. And we lucky few of the 32nd Armored Ranger Battalion have been handpicked as the vanguard.
Couldn't ask for a better mission, sir. Which enemy base are we targeting?
Think bigger. We take this base, and we take their will to fight.
I sincerely doubt losing one base is going to reduce them to not wanting to fight.
But how could any one target mean that much to... Wait, you don't mean...
You always were a clever boy, Claude. I think you've got it. Our target is the Imperial capital of Schwarzgrad. Let's fight back!
Operation Northern Cross.
The year was 1935 EC. Two great powers vied to control the continent of Europa. In the east, the sun rose over the autocratic East European Imperial Alliance, a dictatorship known as the Empire. In the west, a network of loosely allied democracies banded together to form the Atlantic Federation. Both powers depended on a precious mineral, Ragnite, for their prosperity, its growing scarcity leading inevitably to war. With its overwhelming military might, the Empire captured one nation after another, while the Federation struggled to maintain unity, every battle driving them further back against the wall. 3 months have passed. With 7/10 of Europa falling to the Imperial war machine, the Federation places all its hope in a desperate counterattack. Operation Northern Cross. 6 million soldiers fought in this campaign. It claimed more lives than any other in the Second European War. Federation historians call it the Eastern Theater, but the Empire knows it as the War for the Motherland.
Forward, soldiers! This is the battle you've been training for! Operation Northern Cross begins now! We'll wipe those Imperials clear off the face of Europa! Our time
soldiers fought and died on those fields, struggling to make their ideals a reality. Ordinary people thrust into extraordinary circumstances, fighting in the hopes that they would see a brighter future. What follows here is a record of those brave warriors, a record of that battle against the dark. Based on the diary of one Claude Wallace, the commander of the Federation's Galleon Squad E.
Yeah, in case it isn't obvious, the Federation is, in basic terms,
Chapter 1, The Battle of Fort Crest.
Is in basic terms World War II Germany, I'm not going to say the actual name of it because that'll get me in trouble, meets Russia.
Good news, Claude. HQ has awarded you with a medal.
Meritorious Service Medal Award. Okay, cap bullets. Accessories, come on, I'd really like to get through this so I can end the episode. Equipping an accessory to a soldier can boost certain stats. Your accessories can be equipped from the uniform section of the equipment menu. Try a few of them on for size. Note that you can only equip up to the number of accessories you own. Great. Okay, well, with that, I'm going to end the first episode off here for today. If you guys like what you see, please leave a like, subscribe for future content. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notifications for when I upload, or to hit the straw polling to vote for our next Let's Play. And please, leave a comment down below this video. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.